Want to see more cool videos on our channel? We do, so press this bell and enable to send notifications.
Number 20. Bread. What does Burger King, McDonald's, and Dunkin' Donuts all have in common? They all use L-cysteine as a food additive. This amino acid extends the shelf life of products like bread. It's usually found in cow horns, chicken, and duck feathers. Unfortunately, most of the L-cysteine that is used in food does not come from either of those ingredients. It comes from China, where it's harvested from human hair found in barbershops and hair salons. Buy freshly baked bread from your baker, and as if you needed more reasons to steer clear of fast food restaurants, this may do it. Number 19. Ice cream. You might have heard a rumor over the years that certain artificial flavorings, such as vanilla, raspberry, and strawberry, are made from the anal secretions of a beaver, or beaver's butt, which is a fun LOL. A beaver's tushy apparently smells good. Like really good, according to Joanne Crawford, a wildlife ecologist who told National Geographic that she loves putting her nose down there and breathing it all in. People think I'm nuts, she said. I tell them, oh, but it's beavers. It smells really good. Still concerned eating beaver behind? Due to its FDA label, in some cases, some manufacturers don't have to list castoreum on the ingredient list and may instead refer to it as natural flavoring. Ew. That makes you think twice before eating ice cream. That is why I make my own, healthy and out of bananas. Number 18. Cheese. Oh yes, and there are tons. This might make you think twice before taking your coupons to the grocery store to get a sale on candies or mac and cheese. Why? We know that processed foods contain different types of dyes to change their colors to something that is more alluring to our eyes. Tartrazine is a dye derived from coal tar. This is what we also know as yellow number 5 and has been linked to hyperactivity in children. Coal tar is often used for pavement seal coats, medicated shampoos, and now as an ingredient in our food. According to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, mixtures that contain more than 5% crude coal are considered a Group 1 carcinogen. Number 17. Wine. Even wine is not safe from weird and gross additives. Animal rights group PETA warns on their website that many wines include blood and bone marrow, casein, milk protein, chitin, fiber from crustacean shells, egg albumin derived from egg whites, fish oil, gelatin, protein from boiling animal parts, and isinglass, gelatin from fish bladder membranes. Since wineries are not required to disclose the ingredients of each bottle, you may never know what you're really drinking. Number 16. Peanut butter. If you see boxed macaroni and cheese or peanut butter on sale, or a coupon to get it super cheap to put into your stockpile, you might want to avoid those coupons and sales. Why? Because mac and cheese may contain 1 rodent hair per 50 grams, while the FDA says peanut butter may contain an average of 1 rodent hair per 100 grams. Number 15. Fennel seeds and ginger. Did you know that fennel seeds, ginger, and mace, a spice that's similar to nutmeg, can all contain up to an average of 3 milligrams of mammal poop per pound? Cocoa beans can contain up to 10 milligrams of poop per pound. Wheat can contain an average of 9 rodent poop pellets per kilogram, or about 4 pellets per pound, and popcorn can contain up to 1 poop pellet in a sample. Number 14. Marshmallows. You might wonder why vegetarians and vegans avoid marshmallows. They're not a meat product or a dairy product, but they do have a pretty gross connection to animals. Marshmallows are made from gelatin, animal protein also found in ice cream and Jell-O. That doesn't sound too bad until you look at how gelatin is actually made, by boiling the hides and bones of animals. Yep, that's right. You've been topping off your hot chocolate with cow bones for years. Number 13. Chewing gum. Chewing gum comes in a lot of delicious flavors, but a lot of them have one thing in common. They're made out of sheep. To be more specific, many chewing gums are made out of a secretion made from the skin glands of sheep. The substance, called lanolin, is the stuff that makes chewing gum chewy and is also found in many skin products. Chewing gums that don't use lanolin are often made out of synthetic rubbers instead. Number 12. Canned mushrooms. Canned mushrooms? More like a can of worms, or maggots. FDA guidelines are meant to keep food safe, but they do allow traces of some pretty nasty stuff. Maggots and mites are particularly drawn to mushrooms, it seems, leading the FDA to rule on just how large a portion of these creepy creatures can be served up with canned or dried mushrooms. The FDA is totally cool with maggots in your canned mushrooms, so long as they don't exceed an average of 20 or more maggots of any size per 100 grams of drained mushrooms and the proportionate liquid. To give you a sense of what that means, 1 cup of canned mushrooms is the equivalent of 156 grams, meaning that 30 or more maggots might be in every cup of canned mushrooms. Mites can be present in even larger numbers, not to exceed an average of 75 or more mites per 100 grams of drained mushrooms and the proportionate liquid. Believe it or not, it gets even nastier. Up to 10% of those mushrooms can be decomposed. Yuck! Number 11. Sugar. Do you enjoy a spoonful of white sugar in your coffee and drink the beverage from a bone china cup? Double whammy! Bone ash is used to make your sugar whiter than snow. This cheap component is a result from drying, burning, and grinding animal bones. Think again if you want a vegetarian cup of tea. Oddly, bone meal, ground bones, are an often used ingredient in vegetarian multivitamin tablets. Number 10. Citrus-flavored sodas. Everyone knows that soda isn't exactly the most healthy drink to consume, but citrus-flavored sodas are packed with more than just sugar. Many citrus-flavored drinks, like Mountain Dew, include a synthetic chemical that has been patented as a flame retardant. Brominated vegetable oil, commonly referred to as BVO, has been banned from foods in Europe and Japan, but is still widespread in North America. 10% of sodas sold in the U.S. contain this ingredient, which helps to keep the citrus flavor mixed into the drink instead of floating to the surface of the can or bottle. While there are limits that regulate how much BVO can be included in drinks, the studies on what makes it safe for consumption are decades old. It's possible that BVO is more harmful than we suspect. Studies done on mice show that a buildup of BVO can cause behavioral or even reproductive issues. Number 9. Beer. First off, beer. All of the beer fans, gather together and brace yourselves. Some of the modern beers contain an ingredient called isinglass, which comes from a fish's bladder. Unbelievable, right? Well, it is true. It is used to make the beer clearer. Recently, it has been removed from Guinness's ingredients list, so maybe switching to dark beer isn't such a bad idea after all. Number 8. Salad dressing. Did you know that salad dressing may contain titanium dioxide, which can be found in sunscreens as well? If you consume it excessively, it can make you sick. Number 7. Jelly beans. Easter candy falls into 2 major categories: chocolate and jelly beans. If you're a chocolate lover, your next Easter basket won't be ruined by this ingredient. But jelly bean fans are in for a nasty shock. Those gooey bits of goodness are so easy to binge eat. They're hard and shiny on the outside and nice and chewy on the inside. How does a jelly bean get so shiny? With shellac, which is a less gross-sounding term for what it really is: lac bug secretions. This resin is also used to make everything from fingernails to floors nice and shiny. In the past, it was used as electrical insulation and to make records before being replaced with vinyl. Number 6. Processed foods. If you eat processed foods, such as yogurt, Skittles, etc., then you should probably know that you are eating crushed, boiled, or dried beetle, eggs, or wings of beetle's produce, beetle juice, which is then used as food coloring. It's also known as the food coloring carmine. Purple, pink, orange, and red food coloring can all be derived from this insect. This insect-based food coloring has been known to produce allergic reactions in some people. But hey, look on the bright side. Bugs are low in carbs and gluten-free. Number 5. Red color foods. If you're eating something that seems to be unnaturally red, you might want to rethink it. A lot of red food coloring is made from crushed bugs. This ingredient is completely safe and has been used for centuries, but there is a definite ick factor involved. Officially known as cochineal dye, it also pops up on labels as carmine or carminic acid, so look out for those words if you want to avoid a serving of dead insects with your food. Number 4. FatFree Milk. If you think you can skip the horrible additives in non-dairy creamer by using fat-free milk in your coffee, think again. It turns out not even milk is safe from gross ingredients. When fat is removed from milk, the color turns blue. Since the Food and Drug Administration agrees that non-white milk would be too hard for consumers to drink, they allow it to be processed with titanium dioxide to keep its light color. Somehow, the FDA thinks that it's less off-putting for people to drink metal than to drink blue-tinted milk. Number 3. Shredded cheese. I, like many people, assumed that shredded cheese was just regular cheese, and that the stuff you buy in a bag is exactly what you would get if you shredded up blocks of cheese yourself. It turns out that this isn't true. Shredded cheese has an added ingredient that isn't found in blocks or wheels of cheese: wood pulp. You won't see those words on the packaging, of course. The official ingredient goes by the name cellulose and is added to boost fiber and add creaminess in low-fat foods and to help keep shredded cheese from clumping together. In other words, wood pulp is being added to your shredded cheese to cut down on costs. Number 2. Ground beef. You may have heard of pink slime, but did you know that it's in your ground beef? A lot of supermarkets add this filler made out of ammonia-coated beef trimmings, which lowers the cost of ground beef, at least for the people supplying it. You won't see this ingredient on the label either. Since it's still meat, its proper name is lean finely textured beef, or LFTB. Supermarkets are free to dupe the public into thinking they are purchasing fresh ground beef. Number 1. Sandwiches. Ammonium sulfate, an inorganic salt that is known for its popular use as fertilizer, is an ingredient that is actively added to the dough mix by many bread producers. Your favorite sub will never taste the same after realizing that this lovely ingredient is used to produce more nitrogen for the yeast, creating fluffy, airy bread. The more you feel like expelling air after your bready meal, the more ammonium sulfate is likely to have been added. The same stuff is used in combination with caramel to turn the bread brown. Create a stronger bond with your potted plants and share your lunch. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please let me know by clicking the like button. Do share, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch up my next video.